Hello and welcome. My name is Peace Mitchell and I'm co-founder of Women Changing the World Press. Before we begin today, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land that I live and work on, the people of Mamu country in North Queensland. And I'd also like to pay my respects to the traditional owners and elders right across Australia and the Torres Strait. So I am very excited to be here today as we launch our new book, Purpose and Passion. And I have one of our wonderful authors with us, Petria. Please join me in welcoming her.
Hi, Peace. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, really well. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's wonderful to have you here. Now, for people who haven't met you before, I would love you to introduce yourself and tell us a bit about you and the work that you do.
Yeah, so my name is Petria Cumner. I am in Queensland and I've got a small social enterprise business called Sterling and Truffles. And we are focused on reducing single-use plastics, and we do this for individuals with our retail products, so carriers and all plastic-free carriers. But not only do we do that, we also help events and businesses, transition to more greener practices and help with their ESG strategies and navigate that kind of landscape there. So we do quite a bit.
So, Petria, your chapter is called Why. And at the start of your chapter, you talk about the difficult time that you went through, and in particular, losing your mum. Can you tell us more about this time and what it taught you?
Yeah, and I'll try not to get emotional about it. So I guess we'll kind of backstep a little bit. Like, I'd always had quite a successful career in marketing and advertising, and also as an interior designer with my own business. But then when my mum was diagnosed as terminally ill, my focus changed, and none of that was a priority anymore. I was always trying to be as successful as possible and get the highest rankings as possible. But when someone that is your world basically is potentially going to be taken away from you, and inevitably was, my focus changed and I dropped everything and became her full-time carer, which was something that I would do again in a heartbeat. But in the process, I basically lost everything. I lost my business. I lost my home. I lost because I relocated, and I just dropped everything to be there for her. She had always been there for all of us as children, and it was our time to give back to her. So I dropped everything in a heartbeat. And then unfortunately she passed away, and then I was stuck with not knowing where to start again. And fundamentally I go into the in the book, in the chapter, I talk about depression and losing my entire family, and not wanting to basically be here anymore. And so I really had to find my purpose again, and it was really quite difficult, as you could imagine. So yeah, sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's a really tough story. It was such a difficult time that you went through,
Yeah.
but you came through that time and you now have your beautiful son who was born not long after you lost your mum. And he really has been your inspiration for everything you do. You talk about in your chapter, life will knock us down. It's our choice if we choose to get back up or not. Tell us more.
Yeah, so I felt like I had been, like I was at the depths of despair. My partner at the time had left me. when the doctors had said that it's time to say goodbye to mum. So I'd literally lost everyone. My siblings were fighting everything, and I was as low as you could possibly go. But then I I rekindled a long relationship from about 20 years ago with a gentleman that I had met in high school. And we fell pregnant, and it was the same year that mum had passed. And unfortunately, that relationship, because we were both dealing with a lot of grief and trauma, his mum had also been diagnosed with cancer not long after my mum had passed away. So we weren't handling things well. I was pregnant. I was alone again. But when I did find out that I was pregnant, it just reignited this spark inside of me, and this this desire that, yes, this little person needs me, so I need to find the strength within me and do this. So I decided to basically get back up, dust myself off, and okay, let's get to work. We've got nothing at the moment. We've got to work bloody hard to get something for this little guy. So here we are, 4 years later, and we have a internationally recognized award-winning business, sustainable business. So I think we're on the right path now.
You absolutely are. You absolutely are. I mean, in your chapter, you talk about the fact that when your son was a little baby, there was a pile of plastic water bottles beside him. And it was that moment that you were like, we can't keep going like this. This is not the future I want for my son. Can you tell us about that moment and what it sparked in you?
Yeah, so during COVID, we transitioned from Brisbane to Toowoomba, and it was during lockdown. So we had to move ourselves in a lot of carloads. It was about 17 carloads. And we'd always had reusable water bottles and tried to do the right thing. But in the move, it was just like we had to do so much ourselves. We'd just grab water along the way. We do the right thing. We recycle them. We take them to containers for change. That's it. We're fine. We're doing the right thing. But then when I just took a moment, he started crying. He must have been hungry or something. And then I saw him in the back seat, and then I saw a mountain of water bottles beside him. And it wasn't until that moment then that I actually realized that we are contributing to the world's plastic problem. Yes, we're recycling them, but we're still continuing this problem. We need to put a stop to it. So that's where we decided, okay, we've got these refillable bottles at home. What's going to make it easier for us to use them? We created a bottle carrier, which I'm not sure if you can see, there's one behind me over there, for ourselves, for our own personal use, and to make it easier for us to be hands-free, with Truffles being a dog that needs to be walked, and Sterling, a baby that needs to be carried. We needed to be hands-free. So that encouraged us. But the more that we wore it in public, public demand increased. And then until one day we got to the point of, okay, well, this is creating a lot of interest. There must be a demand for this in the public. Let's just bite the bullet and turn it into a business. Firstly, it was a hobby, recreating all of these, of course, but it grew so quickly that I had to take some really deep consideration in making it a business, because it's not an easy decision, just deciding to make a business or start a business. And I guess my thought was, this is our contribution to our son's inheritance in doing this. And my mother didn't have the opportunity to meet my son, and she didn't have the opportunity to shape and mold him and help him grow. And I made the decision to use some of her inheritance that she didn't get to spend on him and start the business to help his future and his friends' future in creating a better tomorrow. So yeah, here we are.
Yeah, it's incredible. It really is incredible. And the products that you make are all sustainable as well, aren't they? Can you tell us a bit more about the materials that you use?
Yeah, so it's very important for us to be as Australian as possible and to keep our footprint as low as possible. We use all plastic-free products. So we use Australian vegetable tanned leather, which uses tree tannins and water to tan the leather. It's a very artisan, old skill that's been done for a very long time, and it doesn't have those heavy metals and chrome-based chemicals that damage the environment. So that's very important to us, obviously. And we handcraft them, and we also contract people to help handcraft them locally here, so we can ensure that our footprint is as low as it possibly can be.
It's amazing. And thank you so much for sharing your story with us. I know it must have been a very difficult story for you to write, but I'm hoping that there was real healing through telling your story, and this work that you're doing is so incredible. So thank you so much for everything you're doing, Petria.
Thank you. Yeah, it was very difficult, but I guess my hopes was to share the story and help inspire people that feel that they've been at the very bottom of life and don't feel like there's much to live for, but you can. You just need to find the strength within and rebuild. You can do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in to our conversation. And if you haven't got your copy of Purpose and Passion, make sure you grab a copy. It's a wonderful book filled with incredible stories like Petria's. You can buy your copy at 𝑊CWpress.com. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.